of America says a glitch that appeared to drain some customers' accounts has now been resolved. But some customers are still angry after dealing with hours of uncertainty about their balance. ABC's Am3rica has the story.
A scary day for some Bank of America customers Wednesday. They checked their accounts and found their money gone.
I'm missing $1,400 from my account, and they're telling me that there's no way they can help us. You missing money too? There you go.
It was a nationwide issue.
I get a text alert and it says my account is overdrawn.
One customer tweeted their balance of negative $2,000. Most complaints involved the payment transfer service Zelle.
I did see that what was causing my negative balance was the Zelle transfer that I had at one time seen in my account and had received notification. It just disappeared.
I went to see my bank account and then I saw there's $100 less.
Zelle is owned by Bank of America and 6 other banks. It issued a statement saying, "We understand that a Zelle network financial institution may have experienced issues processing some of their customers' Zelle transactions, which has now been resolved." Many customers tried to contact Bank of America customer service, but say they were unsuccessful. The bank apologized on social media, saying Zelle transactions made between January 14th and January 17th may be delayed in occurring and posting to accounts. Transfers will appear in your account as soon as possible. As of 3 p.m. Eastern, they said the problem was resolved, but did not give a reason for the disruptions. It's not the first time Zelle customers have had problems. The app is facing a lawsuit, with consumer advocates and lawmakers citing increasing fraud. A recent report claimed there were nearly 200,000 cases of fraudulent transactions on Zelle between 2021 and 2022, involving more than $200 million. Some customers may face...
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Your bank accounts today, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your lands, and much more tomorrow. As you can see from the clip that I just showed you, Bank of America had a glitch in its system, allegedly, that a lot of customers was unable to have access to their accounts. They didn't know what happened to their money. They was panicking. And being in the flesh, rightfully so, because some of those people lost at the time what they thought could be their life savings, thousands of dollars. But we know we know that we're not moving in the flesh, but in the spirit. And we know what time we in. We in the last days, so we know to expect a lot of things that's going to happen, that's going to shock a lot of people who don't know or who don't care to take heed to what's going on in these last days. So here's a few scriptures, and we're going to take it from there. This is in the book of Isaiah, the 31st chapter, and we're going to read a few verses. And this is verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise, and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are man, and not the Most High, and their horses flesh, and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. So you just got a little taste of what's going to happen once complete chaos erupts. If you think these people right now is losing their mind after losing, whatever money they had in their bank accounts for a few hours to a day or two, You can imagine once all hell breaks loose, man, and you can't afford anything, and you got to go down and get that mark, you know, to sustain your way of living, man. People gonna be rushing down to the local site wherever they got to set up to get that mark, man. If they run it and lose their mind over a few $100s and some of them a few $1,000s, you can imagine once all hell breaks loose and everything is on the line, and you got to have a way to pay your, you know, your rent, your mortgage, your whatever stuff you got going on, and you can't afford it. You can imagine people gonna be running to get that mark, man, in their right hand or in their forehead. They're not gonna be willing to lose it all, because and the elite is banking on this, that people are set in their ways and they're comfortable, and majority of these people in this society is consumers, and they don't have faith, point blank. So they did this little this little test run to see how people are gonna react when they lose their money out of their accounts, because they could, just as easy as they could take money out of your account, they could put money into your account, man. None of this is by happen chance. This is all orchestrated, allegedly. Bank of America, man, you really got to see what's going on here, man. In the midst of them running a 12-week trial CBDC test run with eliminating a third party where you could do peer-to-peer, transactions, you got this incident that occurs right now. But it's only for those ones who's supposed to see, to give them further reassurance that we are in these last days, man. And we coming up on what's known to be that mark in Revelation, the 13th chapter, 16 verse down to the 18th. So you just seen a little panic from one bank. Imagine when all the banks are under this and they got to make that transition from physical currency, which really ain't real currency, but most people are content and are able to accept the fact that they have money because they can hold a dollar bill in their hand, or they can hold $100 bill in their hand, to not being able to hold anything anymore else. Now they got to rely strictly on digital currency. And with that digital currency, you seen just like that, it could be here today and gone tomorrow. It's a fact. You can manipulate digital currency. You can manipulate digital anything. You can see somebody on a social platform and can have 20 million followers, but in actuality only have maybe 20,000 followers. But whoever's in charge of that can manipulate the numbers because it's digital. So it's not going to be nothing for them once they get this thing over to CBDC, man, for you to be losing your money and you not even being able to realize it. And how can you back it up if all your transactions are being tracked digitally? How are you going to prove to them? What's going to happen when you got to pay your rent and now your money's missing because of something you said on the platform that didn't align with their agenda? What's going to happen then? You see? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. They trust in their own ways, man. Pursuant to Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. It tells you lean out on your own understanding, man, because you're not going to know what's going on in those days when things are completely transformed into digital this, digital that, and digital everything, digital everywhere. They slowly taking you away from physical, concrete, holding your hand, can see what you can see, and now putting you into the digital era. Stream this, stream that. You can't hold you can't hold it anymore in your hand to see if it's real or not. It's all part of their lying wonders. You know? Verse 2 says, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will rise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and the horse is flesh and not spirit. Yeah, so these people who are in control today, which are the Edomites, the Caucasians, they are men. They're not the Most High. They in the spirit of the Egyptians, just like back then when the Egyptians had everything, in Egypt, and people had to go there and look for them for help. Today, in this last days, now you got the Edomites, these Caucasians who rolling out this new system, and people going to go down to them for help. And they're not going to look to trust in Yahweh and go to him for help. Because they're not spiritual. They're not in the spirit, man. They in flesh. They want to believe what they see. When this man is orchestrating the biggest heist in history, man, he's coming with digital this and digital that. And he's going to put it on a little token the size of a rice, and you're going to put it in your right hand or in your forehead, man. And you're going to have to get down with the program to keep on this grid. So this is what's at hand right now. You just got a little glimpse of it through this so-called glitch in the system, BOA, Bank of you-know-who. So you just got a little taste how people went berserk when they felt they lost their, life savings and they lost a few $100s. Imagine if this had been around the first of the month and they couldn't see what was going on and get things back online for 4 or 5 days. The landlords weren't gonna play that, man. Oh, my bank had a glitch. I don't have the money. I can't pay you. Nah, you got to get out, or you got to pay. The days you were late on your next rent. People gonna be running down to get whatever it is that they need to stay on top and to sustain they style of living, man. They're not gonna look on the Holy One of Israel, man, for aid and assistance and to see what's going on. Like I tell you in Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, lean out on your own understanding, man. So back to verse 3, it says, now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helps shall fail, and he that is hoping shall fall down. Both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. So this whole system is set for doom, man. And if you believe in it, and if you putting all your eggs in one basket, hoping that this system continues to live on forever, you're going to be let down too, man. You're going to fail right along with it, So let's go over to Proverbs 3 before we get a couple more scriptures after that. And reiterate what the scripture was just bringing out. And it says, Proverbs 3, verse 5, trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean out unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So when you see things get hectic, this was just a little small sample, man. But when this thing affects everybody, and people are running crazy, whether it's to their Whether it's to their local bank or however you go about doing business in those days to see what's going on, or whether you go to the grocery store and it's empty or the prices are, are out there where you can't afford anything, you know what time it is, man. You got to, what? Trust in Yahweh with all our ways, man. Lean out on our own understanding. It tells you in the book of Isaiah that what? This is Isaiah 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Almighty, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You gonna be taken care of, man. You gonna eat, you gonna drink. You gonna have somewhere to stay at, somewhere to sleep. You know, you gonna be taken care of, man. And you ain't got to sell out. Because we already know what happened to those ones that's gonna sell out. They gonna fail, man. And they ain't doing that but, putting, like I said, putting all their eggs in one basket, and that basket just so happened to have holes in it. Pursuing to Haggai 1 and verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. And that's exactly what these people are doing right now. They're not understanding the bigger picture. That was done deliberately to get a reaction, to see how people gonna act when they put this on a larger scale. When you got more at stake to lose than just a couple of $100. Just $4,000 here. Because you ain't doing nothing but putting your wages into a bag with holes, man. Because eventually you're going to have to be able to lose. Eventually you're going to be having to willing to lose it all. That's where it's coming down to, man. And this little bank run right here was a test run to see exactly how the glitch is going to happen once it takes its full course. So the glitch had its purpose, it served its purpose, and it got the reaction that it was probably looking to see throughout all of, the digital world. Throughout many platforms, it was calculating and analyzing all the comments and stuff like that to see, okay, now we know how to roll this thing out once we come closer to that time and what to expect whatever reaction we get. Because it tells us in the book of what? Matthew, 19 verse. St. Matthew 19. Because it's eventually going to come down. It's going to be bigger than just bank accounts, man. The bank account was just, just a little test run. Eventually, you're going to have to give it all up, man. And this is St. Matthew 19th chapter in the 29th verse. And it reads, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So you're going to have to give up a lot more than just your little stink-ass bank account, man. Whether you have money put aside in it that you got, planned for a rainy day, that we read in Haggai 1 and 6, you putting wages inside a bag with holes in it, or you got, family that's going to depend on you in them days where you're going to have to make that decision to either go down and get help from Egypt, which is this system, which is going to be that mark, or you going to depend and rely solely on the Holy One of Israel, man, Yahweh. You have to forsake a lot more than just a bank account, man. So it says, but But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So now we getting ready to see just exactly, what's going to happen, man. And you can't say you ain't having time to prepare yourself for it, because you seeing it right now in living color, live in a living color, man. So they was allegedly saying that they got things back online and we shouldn't have this happen anymore, although it done happened in the past. And now in the midst of this CBDC wrapping things up on this little 12-week trial, a lot of people going to be willing to take on the CBDC because now they can do without the third, without the middleman, and can deal directly with peer-to-peer or with the federal banks itself, the central banks itself. They're not going to have to worry about slip-ups like this happening again with a CBDC. Because like I said, imagine if you had this happen to you on the first of the month and they wasn't able to get things back online and fix the problem in a timely manner, and you would have had to pay back pay on your rent for next month or whatever else you owe at the beginning of the month. A lot of people are going to be ticked off, man. But they just so happen to roll it out in the middle of the month after everybody done paid their bills and can afford to, see exactly how the reaction was going to happen without getting too much of an uproar, as opposed to doing it in the beginning of the month where people couldn't afford to lose that. Especially if they live in check to check, man. Who knows what kind of security they would have had to have on hand to, keep things in control from people breaking open the banks and trying to go in there and get money that they think that's in the banks that's not in the banks. Because that's going to be the real trick when they find out that they can't take money out the banks, that they said that they got money in the banks. That's what's really going to be the trick, man. When you got so much money in the bank and you can't take it out at one time. When you got to call days in advance to set up a date to get your money out of the bank. When they tell you that money ain't no longer in the bank and we transferring over into a new system, people ain't going to know how to take that, man. They ain't going to know how to react to that. Especially, like I said, the ones that like holding on to physical objects, man. Whether it be a CD, whether it be a book, in this case, your money. People like having, physical things that they can touch. But when they telling you digital, they're going to have a hard time swallowing that pill there, man. And you see that what happened in this little test run that they had with the glitch right here in the bank, man. And this is all by design. 2 Thessalonians 2. And start down at verse 9. And it reads, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So this glitch, quote unquote glitch, that happened with this bank, that people wasn't able to account for where their money went to for that period of time, that was a lying wonder, man. All that stuff had already been situated and planned before this happened. They just had to get this last little piece of the puzzle in a 12-week trial of the CBDCs, man, so they can see how people going to respond to it once they flip it out, once they roll it out. So it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, the Most High should send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. And that's exactly what's going on, man. People feeling like they put too much in this system to lose it all, man. They under that strong delusion. So when that perfect storm brews and they have everything in place and chaos is all at an all-time high and they come with a solution and they say come down to your nearest site or whatever they got this thing set up at and come take come take this solution, you gonna run down there with open hands, man, and say, hey, put it right here in my hand. Put it right here in my forehead, Whatever it takes to get me back online. I want to do it. And you've been put in a trick bag, man. Cause the bag you want got holes in it. The wages you put in that bag, it ain't gonna profit you nothing to come. For what's to come. You being put under a strong delusion, man. And it tells you right here. It tells you why you being put on that strong delusion. So let's read it one more time. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, which is in his book, which is in his word, that they might be saved. Because you're not going to know what's going on. You're going to think it's whatever they tell you. You're going to believe whatever they telling you, man. Hook, line, and sinker. You're going to buy it all up. You're going to buy all of it. And here it is, verse 11. And for this cause, the Most High should send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. 12. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And when the word was coming out and was telling you this and that, you didn't believe it. You wanted to lean on your own understanding. And we talked about it. We talked about that in Proverbs 3 verses 5, man. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. You wanted this system to continue to go on. This wicked system. You have pleasure in it. You feel like you invested so much in it. You don't want it to ever end, man. You put all your wages in and a bag with holes in it. So this is the reason why you have this strong delusion on you. Because you should know what time we in and you should see these things happening and you should be saying to yourself, okay, it's time to get ready. We in the last day. We coming into some rough times right now. It's time to fast and to pray, and trust in Yahweh for him to direct your paths, man. And know that his servants gonna eat and drink, man. You're gonna be taken care of. You just gotta have faith. And you should be prepared for the second coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, to come get us out of this. So you seeing the signs right now, man. But Satan trying to mislead you and to direct you on his path with his signs and his lying wonders. And like I showed you in that clip to start it off with, you just seen one of them. How he can manipulate the money digitally to be in your bank account today and be out of your bank account tomorrow. It's nothing for him to manipulate whatever he can when he take away the aspect of physical and replace it with digital. The blink of an eye, you could have everything stripped up out of you. And if you're not grounded in this truth, you're going to lose your mind, man. And you're going to willingly go down with open, it's supposed to be arms, but with open hands and take whatever, he going to put out there for you. And we know what he going to put out there for you. Pursuing the Revelation, the 13th chapter, the 16th verse down to 18. So you got to be ready, be prepared right now. These are the times that we in. So you should be fasting and praying, man. And taking heed. So when that day come, you will be prepared to the best of your ability, man. But we already know ultimately it's going to be Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushua, that's going to guide you and put you in the right predicaments, in the right position, the right place to get through this. Until ultimately, you know, the destruction of this place comes. That's right. You know, this place ain't gonna be here forever. It's got a judgment that's coming to it. And pray that you part of the number that get beamed up into the chariots, man. But we're gonna take it one step at a time, man. We getting ready for that, you know, that mark to roll out, man. You done seen what happened right now with this little test run they put out right now. So with that, you know, we're gonna close out. We're gonna take it from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, and we're gonna go down to verse 8, and it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And that's exactly what he did with his little test run, man. He seen exactly who he gonna devour once this thing fully rolls out, man. He went and researched the analytics. He looked at the videos. He looked at the people who did response to the videos. He know exactly what kind of data he need for this and that. And he gonna have the perfect storm brewing when this thing come out like clockwork, man. And if you ain't sober and vigilant, you gonna believe everything he tell you to the T. So let's read this one more time. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And he walked about just by digitally. He can digitally walk now. That's one of his lying wonders. No longer does he need to walk on his own 2 feet, but he can digitally walk. And he can cover way much more ground like that now, digitally. So it says, "As a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." So he saw exactly what type of people gonna crumble under pressure, man. He got the data already. All he need to do until that time is to fine tune it. You may hear something else before then, a little bit here, a little bit there, but know he working his lying wonders and his deceit behind the closed doors, man. And he had something else he did along the line of something with the airplanes, you know, the FAA that grounded all the airplanes, man. Man, you don't know what time, man. If you don't know what time we in, you gonna be easy picking for this lion, this roaring lion. Once he get ready to roar and release his solution for you. So we're gonna read it one more time, and then after that we're gonna close out. So 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." So with that being said, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.